Hello, dear students. Welcome to another lecture in lecture series on integrated water management. I'm Dr. Bindya Sharma, and today we are going to learn about human landscape interventions. When we talk about human landscape interventions, what we understand? Human landscape interventions basically refers to the changes that humans make to the natural environment, that is the landscape, through its various activities, technologies, and infrastructure. These interventions are often aimed at meeting the human needs, such as the water supply, food production, and urban development. But they can also have a significant impact on environment and water resources, and those impacts are mostly the negative ones. Types of human landscape interventions includes agriculture and irrigation system. When we talk about irrigation, the construction of irrigation system to supply water to crops, particularly in the regions where the scarcity of water is being faced, these systems like the dams, canals, pumps can significantly alter the flow of natural water system, and also they can increase the water consumption. When we talk about the land reclamation, the process of transforming the saline land into a usable agriculture land, often through the draining wetlands or diverting the natural water courses. This intervention can also lead to the changes in the local hydrology or the water system, affecting the water availability to the various ecosystem. Talking about the factor like urbanization and the infrastructure development, the urban sprawl, the expansion of the cities and towns into previously natural landscape, it leads to the creation of impervious surfaces like roads, buildings, parking lots. It also disrupts the natural flow of water. Then building of dams and reservoirs, large-scale infrastructure projects like building of water storage, flood control, and hydroelectricity power generation. The dams can also alter the river ecosystem and can impact aquatic biodiversity and the change in water flow patterns. Flood control measures, human interventions to manage the flood risk while they are protecting the communities from flooding by using flood control measures. But these measures can also disrupt the natural water cycle and can also lead to the damage to the wetlands and the food plain ecosystem. Another human landscape intervention reason is the mining and extractive industries. Extraction of various minerals, for example, coal and the other resources, it can also lead to the contamination of surface and groundwater. Hydraulic fracturing, water intensive process for extracting of oil and gases, can also lead to oil spills, thereby making the water insufficient or impure. Deforestation and the land use. Deforestation, removal of the forest for various purposes like agriculture or expansion of colonies, urbanization, or logging. It creates a significant impact on the water cycle. It reduces evaporation and it increases surface runoff. So, thereby, again, this is an excellent example of human landscape intervention. Climate change adaptation and mitigation efforts also leads to the various unavailability of the fresh water or depletion of the fresh water resources to the human beings. Like green human interventions that use natural system to manage water, like rain garden, wetlands, permeable pavements. These are designed to mimic the natural water flow, but and improve the water quality while reducing the urban flooding. Water conservation practices, policies, and technologies are aimed to at reducing the water usage and improving the water efficiency. So these were few of the reasons and the causes of human landscape intervention, how human beings has intervened into the nature and which is again responsible for the depletion of the water resources. Now, when we talk about the different features of the water management, its related issues and the challenges it is facing, the very first issue is water scarcity and over extraction. Over extraction means overuse of both surface water and groundwater resources, especially in the places where the water is scarce or it is not present in abundant quantity. Then climate change again is one of the major reason. We have seen the shift in precipitation patterns, like droughts, extreme weather events are being faced. Like at times we are facing prolonged droughts, and at times we are facing floods also. So there are certain challenges to these water scarcity. That is balancing water demand for agriculture, industry, and drinking water. Developing water efficient technologies which can be used to mitigate the over extraction, particularly when we talk about the agriculture, we can talk about the precision irrigation. So these techniques can be used, and these are the few challenges. Next, when we talk about the pollution and the water quality degradation, industrial and agriculture pollution are the main reasons, because in agriculture or in irrigation, we are using the chemical fertilizers and pesticides for the growth of the crops, which is again a major issue because it runoffs and get mixed with the freshwater resources, thus thereby polluting it, contaminating it. So the various kind of chemical pollutants are mixed into water, especially the flowing water, that is rivers, as well as the groundwater also, which is again creating a risk to the health as well as the ecosystems. And plastics and chemical waste in today's world are having more impact on the freshwater ecosystem, a negative impact. Like, for example, microplastic. They are harming the aquatic ecosystem. Pharmaceuticals or chemicals which are entering into the water bodies are leading to the significant water quality concerns also. Looking at the challenges, the lack of the wastewater treatment infrastructure, especially when we talk about the developing countries, need for strict regulations and rules for better waste management practices needs to be done. Now, coming to the water equity and access issue, when we talk about the water access to the many regions in the entire, if we talk about the world also, particularly when we focus on the developing countries, they are still lacking the reliable access to the safe drinking water and sanitation services, because the water distribution is not uniform. Water conflicts are being faced, competition for water for agriculture, industry, and domestic use. It also leads to sometimes conflicts. The challenges are ensuring the equitable water distribution and access to the clean water for everyone, for all in the entire globe, around the globe. Managing the industrial water disputes is again a challenge. Next, coming to the next point is about climate change and hydrological uncertainty. When we talk about the changing rainfall patterns, some areas are experiencing reduced rainfall while the others are facing extreme rainfall. Water shortage is also a major issue. Melting glaciers and reduced snowpack threatens the long-term water supplies for people. The challenges faced are adapting water management strategies and building resilient infrastructure to handle both drought as well as the flood events. Now, the next issue is managing water for agriculture. How to manage water for agriculture? Irrigation efficiency, as we know that if we talk about India, we are mostly dependent on agriculture, and irrigation is the prime occupation. So agriculture is the largest global consumer of water, but because of insufficient supply of the fresh water, it is facing lot of problems. The cultivation of water intensive crops like rice, cotton in water scarce area can also exacerbate the local water shortages. Few of the challenges which are faced is the shifting to a more sustainable practices like rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation, that can reduce the water consumption, and encouraging the cultivation of the drought resistant crops can also is a major challenge. So that's all for today. Thank you.